Hiya! Welcome! A quick look at a couple of records I've bought recently, both from that marvellous website known as Discogs, specifically Discogs Marketplace. Got one that I bought about a week and a half ago that I'm going to show you first, and then I've got a mail opening to do with you all with a record that has come from Sweden. However, I'll show you this one first. This is from an act. I don't really call them a group or a band. It's more a project than anything else, that I got my first vinyl record for a month or so ago. And I loved that, and they only have one other album available on vinyl record, a really expensive 3 LP set, but I was able to finally find it at Discogs for a good price. And what I'm talking about is this. It is 2020 or 2020 from Gregorian. I can't tell you how happy I was to get this, as I thought this would be way out of my price range for the foreseeable future. It still wasn't cheap, but I think I got it about as cheap as I could ever get it, and it was brand new and sealed as well. Obviously, as you can tell, I have listened to it, I have opened it, and I've put it in a gatefold protector. What 2020 is, and that's a lot of 20s, is a 3 LP set. It's a sort of hybrid, really. It's kind of like a greatest hits and a new studio album from Gregorian together. They've got a lot of their sort of classic cover versions and things on, mostly on I think the first 2 discs. Some of those have been either remastered or re-recorded, as Gregorian have like a rotating cast of vocalists, really. I think there's mainly sort of newer cover versions and newer stuff on the 3rd LP, or side E and F as it says there. There's only 500 of these vinyl sets available. It is also out more freely on CD and download as well, I think. But I've got number, I think that's 359. This came from a record shop in Germany, and it is one of the more expensive vinyl record purchases that I've made recently, but one I'm just so happy to have. In the end, I think this cost me, after converting euros to pounds sterling, somewhere between 60 and 65 pounds, but that does include postage. And before that, I was just seeing it for like sort of ridiculous money on Discogs, like 80, 90 pound or so. So I'm actually happy to get this, and I think 3 albums, 3 discs, postage as well, from Germany, £60 or just a bit over. I don't think that's too bad all in all. I think actually I've probably got a bit of a bargain here, although as it stands, spending that sort of money on an album, 1 record, albeit a 3-disc record, doesn't seem so bargainful. But love that. Do I like it more than the other Gregorian album, Masters of Chant 10, The Final Chapter? In a way, no. It's nice to hear some of the remastered versions and re-recorded versions of stuff that I was familiar with sort of over their 20-year career, as this is kind of like a 20th anniversary special set, really. But I think overall, just there's still some great stuff on it. I'm so glad I've got this. But I think just on the case of quality, I think I prefer Masters of Chant 10. So Gregorian 2020, a bit of an indulgence for me, but one that as soon as I saw it for what I consider a reasonable price, I had to have it. And now we move on to another European purchase from a European artist. This is for an Italian artist who I have also showcased in a recent video. by buying his greatest hits. This is from Sweden, and as you can see, this mailer is absolutely festooned with Swedish stamps. So if you're an international stamp collector, then this would be quite a nice thing to have. But I'm going to get it open. And for that, I do, of course, need my trusty yellow knife. Ooh, baby, don't you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. And now, let us have a sizzle. Woo! So how easy this is to get into. As I say, this was also from Discogs Marketplace. This is a second-hand album from 1996, I think. So getting on a little bit now. I'm not sure what the condition will be like. I think the condition was classed as very good. And the thing about Discogs is, especially when you look at the feedback and you see they've got good feedback ratings, although you can't always see a picture of the actual listing. In fact, you can rarely see a picture of the actual listing unless you request one from the seller. But they're always very honest on there. I love buying records on Discogs Marketplace. I've talked about this before. It's better than eBay for me. I'm not saying everyone would agree with that, but for me, just because of the sheer choice and the stuff that will rarely, if ever, come up on eBay on there. And as soon as you put something in your want list, if it does come up for sale, you'll get an email notification about it. Struggling to get into here, but I think I've just about managed it now. Ah yes, as a lot of record stores do with second-hand records, they have separated the disc out here. But it's just going to be standard black vinyl. Black vinyl matters. Jason, if you say vinyls one more time, I'm going to come down to Southampton and stick your head down your own toilet. And so here we have... Oh, I forgot this was 2 discs. I thought this was only 1 disc. Oh, it's made this better value. Here we have Gigi D'Agostino, The Greatest Hits. Yes, another Greatest Hits from Gigi D'Agostino. Now then, this one, apart from what is, I would say, probably the most boring album sleeve of all time, this was all the way back from 1996, and it's a strange one to have a greatest hits from Gigi at this point, because it's not really been going very long, you know, maybe a couple of years or so, and he didn't really gain any international recognition until, I would say, more the late 90s, when he had hits like L'amour toujours and The Riddle. This album, which is, obviously it's called The Greatest Hits, for me it's more of sort of like an early compilation, and when he was still kind of more an underground progressive house, progressive trance artist. And as he sort of got bigger, he became kind of more mainstream, and I think some would argue more cheesy. He's done a lot of cover versions, which I love. I love all the sort of Euro cheese and everything. That's something else I've talked about a lot as I struggle to get this disc back in. There we are. And that looks a really nice quality outer sleeve that they've given me here, this seller from Sweden. Like I say, 2 discs, 4 sides. Nothing on here that I'm overly familiar with. Like I say, this all looks like a sort of compilation of stuff from his earlier career, really, when he was still considered more of a on the fringes Italian club DJ slash producer slash remixer, whereas I think I prefer a lot of his later sort of more cheesy Euro dance kind of stuff, really. But I'm still glad I've got another Gigi LP in my collection, because like Gregorian is someone else who he's got a lot of stuff out on CD, but if you're a vinyl collector, which I am, stuff's a lot more hard to come by. price, I think it was €12 for the album and then €12 again for postage, so €24. That's about £21, £22, I think. So I'm very happy to pay that. It's not the best condition album I've ever had, but it looks no worse than some ones that I've picked up from charity shops and got second hand elsewhere. So, yep, lovely stuff. So I'm looking forward to listening to this. Like I say, I don't think I'll enjoy it as much as his later work, but it'd be interesting to hear how he was really in the mid-90s, and you never know, there might be some of my new favourites on here. Just a shame about the absolutely dull as ditchwater sleeve, but never mind. And there we are, just a quick video to show you my latest 2 record purchases. Thank you all for watching, much appreciated, as it always is. Thank you to all of you, my amazing subscribers and my brilliant patrons. Please see my Patreon link at the top of the description. I'm going to go now, and I'm not due to listen to Gregorian 2020 again yet, but of course, as I've just opened this, I will be listening to The Greatest Hits by Gigi D'Agostino very soon. And I do hope that all of you will join me again for my next record collecting and mail opening video. Cheers everyone. See ya!